The joys of trying to capture sound in your helmet. For whatever reason, the helmet's playing around again, so I'm just sort of putting this in post the edit. So this morning, first time been out for a little bit, heading out east, quite a bit way out, about 250 k's out, to see a gazebo and a rock and maybe one or two other things. So it's going to be pretty warm, getting up to probably mid-30s I'd say later on today, but we're just going to go for a bit of a burn, bit of a cruise and see where we get up to, see what happens.
So we're at the gazebo, and this is a dual purpose. It talks about by some lambing, transport of lambs, and how a particular farmer was frustrated with the difficulty of actually transporting the lambs by truck over to Fremantle to ship. And actually was concerned about the stress of the animals, so he requested and eventually had set up a railway line, which made it a lot faster and better for the lambs. So it's a very interesting sort of history about that side. The other part of it is, of course, the rabbit-proof fence. So back in the mid-1800s, some wonderful person decided to introduce rabbits over in the eastern states. And rabbits do what they do, and obviously eventually became plague proportions and started to migrate throughout the country, as you'd expect. So what WA decided to do, given how destructive they can be and the plague proportions that they're getting to, they actually decided to construct the blue line there, which is fence number 1. Problem was, before they could even complete that, so you're talking, what it says there, 1,800 kilometres, so it's a heck of a long way. Problem was, before they could actually complete it, a lot of the rabbits had actually gotten through. So then they were forced to create number 2 and number 3 just to try and stop the plague of the rabbits coming through. That's a heck of a long way to build a fence. There's a bit of history about how they built the fence and what they were doing to maintain it. But gee, that's it's an incredible, it's like a lot of things, you've got the Telegraph Road and various other places in Australia where to actually go through the engineering process of putting in a fence or putting in a telegraph line for thousands of kilometres, it's just insane. And the conditions obviously that existed back then. So it's quite interesting. We can also have some rabbit pudding if you'd like, maybe. Rabbit, pork, suet crust, flour, salt and pepper. Yum yum. So I left about 7 o'clock this morning when it was nice and cold, about 17 degrees. It's actually quite nice in the gazebo right now because it is getting quite warm out there already, probably in the very late 20s I would say at the moment. So right at the moment it's actually not too bad under the tin roof, but I certainly wouldn't want to be here in the afternoon. But it's, yeah, look, it's not a bad little place. So, see there's quite a bit of there isn't much out here. Really not a lot. Anyway, next step, I'm going to go climb a rock. I'm going to go find a rock and climb a rock because why not? Now that I've seen a gazebo. Oh, and I think I might be in trouble with the fuzz. That might be the other thing too. I'll have to try and sort that out. Stay tuned. So I was heading back from the gazebo and I thought I'd go climb a rock. We're at Mount Sterling. It's only about probably 20 k's from where I was. And when I looked at the reality of the rock, I thought, I might just try this one. Oh, that was hard work.
Hee hee hee. There we go. So I have climbed my rock for the day. So there you go, getting quite a bit of out east today. Anyway, let's find our next spot. So it's all done. It's all over. I had myself into the fuzz. Just couldn't avoid it any longer. I think they're shut. Oh well. Here, I'll just stay on the run then for a while. This is one of the first police posts out here. Apart from seeing the tin siding. It originated as a police station and then converted into a family home. So, turns out it's not actually chained shut, just a normal gate. Alright, it's the old kitchen. Oh, okay, alright. So they got notes and stuff throughout. And who's who in the zoo. It's a lovely old kitchen. Oh, so here we go. Alright. Oh, so that's your main living area. Not too bad, could be worse. Must have to be a bedroom, I guess. Must be a bedroom, it is. Fireplace. Cool. Yeah, okay. It's actually surprisingly cool in here. It's really nice and cool in here actually. Wow, compared to outside. That's not bad. Oh, there you go.